Welcome back to SUPERTHIEF, and today we'll be counting down the top 10 best superhero movies on Netflix. With Disney snatching up the Marvel properties and HBO MAX owning the rights to the DC IPs, Netflix's offerings have certainly slimmed down in this department. But there are definitely some cool gems left here and there, if you look hard enough. So let's get to it. Number 10. Code 8. Starting off our list is this Netflix original sci-fi action movie starring Robbie and Mel. The movie is set in an alternate history where the existence of superhumans was discovered back in the early 1900s, but by modern times, these superhumans find their powers outlawed, while governments employ specialized drones to fight superhuman criminals. It's an intriguing premise and a solid movie too, with Mel doing a decent job playing an electro-powered construction worker who falls in with a group of criminals in hopes of raising funds to help his ill mother. But it must be said, the overall plot doesn't do a whole lot to make the movie stand out from similar sci-fi movies. Still, a solid movie that's definitely worth a watch. Number 9. Jumper. In this outing, dating back to 2008, we follow David Rice, a young man played by Hayden Christensen, who finds out a genetic anomaly allows him to basically teleport anywhere. But his carefree stealing and globe-trotting doesn't go unnoticed, and David soon finds himself in the middle of an ancient war between those like him and those sworn to annihilate him. The movie's plot is undeniably a little bit by the numbers, but the teleporting does lend itself to some very cool action scenes here and there. And while Hayden Christensen's acting is hit or miss as usual, Samuel L. Jackson is his cool self as the villain Roland Crocs. This one was clearly never in Oscar contention, but if you're looking for some cool teleporting action, this one might just be the one for you. Number 8. Project Power. This one is equal parts superhero movie and gritty crime thriller, and is built on the very intriguing premise of there being pills that when you take them, grant you 5 minutes of unpredictable superpowers. The movie stars Jamie Foxx, an ex-soldier who's trying to stop the widespread distribution of the pill in New Orleans. Fortunately, not unlike Code 8, this one sadly also doesn't really delve into its cool premise and the consequences of pill-based superpowers. Still, the movie certainly has some cool superpower-based action scenes sprinkled about, and the excellent premise alone warrants it a watch in our eyes. Number 7. Bleach. Like in the long-running anime of the same name, we follow high school student Ichigo Kurosaki, who has the ability to see ghosts. One night, a so-called hollow attacks his house. Hollows are dead people who refuse to go to the spirit world and transformed into monsters. The Soul Reaper Rukia comes to his aid, but is then severely wounded, and transfers her powers to Ichigo so he can finish the hollow off. Ichigo must then learn to harness this power so he can fight off a much stronger monster from his past. While most live-action anime movies have been monumental disappointments, with Netflix striking out a few times itself, this adaptation of the famous long-running Bleach anime actually kinda works, with decent CGI, solid character development, and some cool fight scenes here and there. Number 6. Hancock. Next up on our list is this big-budget Hollywood production starring slapmaster Will Smith himself, who plays John Hancock, an alcoholic, reckless superhuman imbued with flight, invulnerability, and super strength. Hancock is a haphazard superhero in LA, where he's often ridiculed and hated by the public for his drunken, careless acts. But then he saves the life of a PR agent who agrees to work on his image with him. Although not perfect, we often feel the movie's critics were a little harsh on this one. Will Smith is perfect for the role, the effects are excellent and still hold up today, while Charlize Theron is powerful as Hancock's forbidden love interest, and Jason Bateman is his ever-witty self as Hancock's newly found PR agent. Seriously, if you're looking for a cool superhero movie to hold you over until the next Marvel movie hits, this one has you covered. Number 5. Gantz O. this CGI anime sci-fi action movie based on a best-selling manga starts off with a teenage boy murdered in a subway station. But he awakens and learns he was brought back to life by a strange computer named Gantz to play a survival game. Together with other resurrected people, he's given high-tech suits and weapons and forced to fight an army of alien monsters that are invading Tokyo and Osaka. The script here may not be the most original, but the movie boasts some awesome monster designs and engaging action scenes, and the CGI is strong throughout. If you don't mind some animation in your superhero movies, you definitely can't go wrong with this one. Number 4. The Mask. This superhero comedy from way back in 1994 stars Jim Carrey as the dorky bank clerk Stanley Ipkiss, who finds a magical wooden green mask that transforms him into the Mask, a green-faced troublemaker who can cartoonishly alter himself and his surroundings. He starts using these powers to fight crime and win over the woman he fell head over heels in love with, only to become targeted by a gangster trying to overthrow his boss. The Mask features some incredible visuals that were truly groundbreaking for the time, and even now hold up decently enough. Also, Jim Carrey is perfectly cast as the dorky Stanley, while the scenes where he has the mask on can be absolutely hilarious. Also, the movie features Cameron Diaz in her first ever breakout role. Just give this 90s classic a shot and trust us, you won't regret it. Number 3. The Old Guard. In this Netflix original based on a comic book of the same name, we follow a covert team of centuries-old immortal mercenaries with regenerative healing abilities. The group first unexpectedly discovers a new member, but then gets suddenly exposed and have to fight to keep their identity a secret. Charlize Theron in particular is a force in this one as the group's leader and drama key, and the action scenes can be absolutely gripping too. All in all, this one definitely belongs in the win column of Netflix original action movies. Now please just give us a sequel already. Number 2. Venom. Many will know this superhero flick headlined by the Spider-Man villain or anti-hero of the same name. Reporter Eddie Brock, played by Tom Hardy, is exposed to an alien symbiote which imbues him with some very cool superhuman powers. Critics were actually quite harsh on the movie, pointing out the seen it before plot as well as the rather generic villain Carlton Drake, played by Riz Ahmed. But the perfectly cast Tom Hardy is absolutely excellent as the anti-hero here, and his interplay with the alien symbiote, which can be hysterical at times, alone earns this one a surefire recommendation. Trust me, don't believe the haters on this one. Number 1. Upgrade. This 2018 Australian cyberpunk action film follows Gray, a technophobe who is shot in the neck by assailants that also murder his wife. Quadriplegic and depressed, Gray lets himself be implanted with a chip that again allows him to control his body. Gray then sets off on an obvious rampage to murder his wife's killers. The plot here is obviously not the stuff of Shakespeare, but it gets the job done. In the meantime, performances are strong throughout, while some of these cybernetically enhanced action scenes are absolutely stellar. And this is also all set in an awesome cyberpunk world. Maybe you've not heard of this movie yet, but trust us, you need to give it a shot. And that's it for our list. Granted, maybe there's not too many AAA superhero movies left on Netflix, but hopefully we spotted you some hidden gems here and there. But did we leave anything out? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated on all upcoming Super Thief content.